Hello everyone, BlueJack287 here. Welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Banished. It has been a while since I've done this on my channel. I used to do it quite a bit. I decided to change games. I'm going to be doing this series now instead of the Planet Base, mostly because it has been a good 7 or 8 weeks since I've done any recordings of Planet Base, because I did a bunch of recordings before I left for Christmas, and I really have not had a chance to do anything since then. So I decided, I really want to do something a little bit different. So I'm going back to a game that I absolutely love to play, and I'm actually a lot more experienced at this game anyway than Planet Base. So, if you're not familiar, this is a colony builder or settlement. How do you want to classify this? Not really. It's kind of a city builder, but there's some survival elements to it. The concept is that you are these group of people that have been, quote-unquote, banished from civilization. They end up here in the wilderness, and your goal is to build a settlement and help them survive. To do that, we need to build shelters, we need to build food, we need to gather resources, we need to do all sorts of stuff. We need to fight off disease, dodge tornadoes, all that kind of stuff. Treat plagues, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's take a look. So I did a little bit of scanning around to see our starting area. So obviously everyone's right here, and our wagon is over here too, full of our goods that we're going to start the game with. Our starting area is just a little bit awkward because we do have a lot of little random hills that we will not be able to build on. So we got a little bit of a ridge here, got a mountain here. So it's going to make things a little bit awkward in terms of getting our lumber up and running. So getting our gatherers functioning, hunting, that kind of thing. Also, this is really where we started is literally the only true open area where we can have. Let me pull up a forester hut here. So here's our forester hut. So the circle, everything within the circle will be operated by this forester's lodge. So ideally, when you want to build a starting forester lodge, you want to have a nice open space with already a lot of trees on it, because then they can start harvesting trees immediately. The problem we're going to have is that no matter where I put this, I could put it like way over here, but that is so far away from our starting area that would be so inefficient. It will take us forever to build anything at the start. So we were actually, efficiency wise, we don't want to do that. The problem is if I put it like right here, which is actually where I'm thinking I'm going to put this stuff, we have a lot of blank space, and we have a lot of iron and stone in the same area. So we have, our foresters are going to will eventually have to mine all that stuff out, which they will slowly collect all that stone and iron and get it out of the way. They also will need to go through and plant trees in all of those blank spaces, and as you can see, there are very little trees in the starting circle. I just don't see any other good alternative. Down here would be, not only is the space not efficient, so here no matter where I put this forester lodge, there's a lot of space in that circle that's unusable by the foresters. There's also a lot of blank space, same thing. Really, if I were to go someplace where I'd get the most trees out of immediately, it'd be way over here, but that again is just way too far away. We can't afford to do that. Okay, no, it's not even an option. The other possibility is we build a bridge here immediately and put it on the forester and stuff on this little spit. But again, we're gonna have a lot of unused space in that forester lodge, so that is also not an option. We do have some very interesting. We got a nice big lake here. Got another lake over here. We'd even possibly put a fisherman's hut there. Would be highly efficient. Okay, so what do we need to do to start? We need to gather some basic resources, so probably we'll just clear this area right here. Our starting area, the starting buildings are going to probably go in this little area right here, kind of surrounding around the forester lodge, but I just don't have any better place to build at the moment. We are starting with 14 people total. We have 8 adults and 6 children, which seems like it's a lot. Maybe it's the usual number. I don't know. So yeah, we need to gather our first basic resources that we can actually construct things with. Then we need to get a forester and a gatherer lodge going immediately. That's a good. Actually, hang on. A gatherer hut is actually not going to be the greatest at the start either because of the lack of trees issue. I'm probably going to do it anyway just so we can start gathering. Gathering huts are so good. I think we just have to, even though it's not going to be the greatest at the start. What I'll also probably do is do a fisherman logic on this corner here so that we have at least a fisherman working on things. So let's get going, shall we? I'm going to go. I'm going to bump up the speed just a little bit. All right, let us gather some resources. Remove resources. Let's just do all this here. We'll go from there. Let's get a stockpile, a regular stockpile, and we will do a 10 by 10. Yeah, we'll do a 10 by 10 stockpile. That's the largest we can do at the moment. So they're going to cut all these trees, collect all the stone, and put it in this little stockpile that I just made. Other very important things, and let's actually bump. Yeah, I got the speed at 5. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn that around a little bit. We're going to put this forester right here, which is about as efficient as I can possibly be. And we're going to get a road down here. Here we go. Go to about here, I guess, and then up here, so we're in front of the stockpile. Go to about there. And we are going to want to have a tiny little stockpile down here by this forester lodge, so we'll put that down here. We'll just do a 4x4. That should be totally fine. Food, let's do a gatherer hut. Where is my gatherer? There they are. And what is going to be most efficient for that? Alright, here I guess. It's not great. It's not horrible either. I can go there. And then we'll get those started. And we are going to want a house there. But I want to get those two things built first. Those are going to be much more important. And yes, I am going to put a fisherman's dock up here. Because that's about our best food source at the moment. It's going to be fish. Try and get this max amount of water in this little space. There we go. And get a road again over here to the stockpile. There we go. So once we get... Alright, they should be just about done clear cutting all that stuff. They still gotta get the stockpile cleared, I guess. Oh yes, we need to have some builders up here. Let's do that. I'll set it at 2 builders for the time being. We really do not need more than that. Good boy, it's just chopping away. It is currently late spring. Probably shouldn't have cleared quite that much at the start, but it's fine. Okay, so here they come. They're actually going to come and build this road first, which is good, because that will increase the efficiency when they come to build these big things down here. Oop, we had a little bit of a leg spike there for a second. Alright, so stockpile is completed. They will start putting things there now. Next is to start constructing all these buildings that we need. Usually the first year, or your first few years, are a little bit slow, just because you really need to get your basics up and running. And you don't want to expand too quickly, because then your food production is way too low and will not support the population, and people start starving to death. So that's why you kind of have to have a somewhat slow, calculated increase in the early going. After a while, you just can kind of go as fast as you want, because you can support it all. Okay. Working on the road still, it seems. I kind of wish they would start clearing all this, though, so we can get those built. It is now early summer, guys, and you have not started to work on any buildings. Yeah, I kind of cleared too much at the start. It's fine. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and increase priority. Right here, of these 2 buildings. Just because those 2 are very important to get functioning. We have plenty of laborers at the moment, which one of our children actually just came of age, so that's good. Okay, so there they got that cleared. Come on, boys, let's get moving. There we go. Those ready to be built. No, they gotta call the stuff down to them yet. Come on, let's get moving. I'm actually gonna go ahead. I'm gonna queue up a house down here. I am going to pause it. I don't want it to build quite yet. Actually, we are gonna need 2 houses here now that I think about it. I'll put 2. I'll pause them both. Let's get those food buildings working first. I also am going to put a house right next to the fisherman dock here. Again, oop, that did not stick. Why you... What? Oh, I'm not paying attention. There we go. I'm going to pause that as well. Let's get our foods going first, then we'll worry about houses. Winter's going to come extremely fast, though. Okay, there we go. So there are gatherer... Okay. So gatherer and forester huts are actually ready to be built. Well, everything has been hauled over to them now. Come on, builders. Let's get a move on, please. Alright, now that those two are good to go, I'm actually going to unpause one house. Oh, for God's sake, what are you guys doing? Can you just stay over there building? Just finish this stuff, please? They probably got hungry and had to go grab some food. Alright, so all of our laborers are getting everything hauled over, which is great. They could be hauling stuff over to this fishing dock, however. There we go. Come on, gather hut. Let's get the baby finished. You're so close. Just stay over here and finish the whole thing, please. This is where it's going to stop at like 99%. Just to spite us. There we go. Okay, gatherer is good to go. We're going to put 2 gatherers in that hut, so we really want to get that working. Alright, so now the forester lodge is ready to be built. I wish they would go on that. I'm actually going to unlock this house too, I think. Actually, let's maybe add a 3rd builder for the time being. I will take him away soonish. I just have a lot of things I want to get constructed. So if you're unfamiliar, the default job in this, and this is all, that's the one thing I love about this game, is you can actually, hang on, foresters, let's get one forester going. You can actually, you have complete control over the interface. So this is what I usually do. I like to have the event log in the bottom left. I have not really strategic, but demographic information up here in the left corner of our settlement. You know, population, resources, happiness, health, weather conditions, and then up here I like to have the professions, so I can go through and modify these as we go along. But you have complete control. You can add a map of the area. You can show paths that our citizens are taking to work and whatnot. And you can move these around. Like I can move these to whatever corner I want. But this is the setup I like personally. But fisherman, done. Okay, add them in. Here we go. Right, so we have 2 houses being built as we speak. There we go. There's the first one done. So we have 4 of our citizens are no longer. Okay, let's get that going. No longer homeless. All right. One thing that we do need right now, or at least get it queued up so we're working on, is a woodcutter hut. Because it is going to be winter, and we will be running out of firewood. Or it will be winter soon, and we'll be running out of firewood. Food is low, huh? We're trying. We are trying. Alright. Let's get the woodcutter hut. We'll put it right next to the stockpile. I'm basically going to try to avoid putting any buildings that are within the radii of either of these buildings. So all of our buildings are going to go in this little U shape, I guess you want to call it, for now at least. Alright, so we have 2 families that are now housed. That is some really... This 16-year-old male has a 12-year-old child? Really? Doesn't quite seem possible. It's fine though. So we're going to need one more house after that one. So let's go ahead and get it queued up. We'll put it over here as well. Try to keep everything somewhat uniform. That's not going to look nice at all. We'll put it right there. So next I just want to make sure we get... Yeah, see, they went and built the woodcutter's hut first, instead of finishing the houses. I would much prefer the houses built first, lads. Our food is really low, by the way. I'm going to add in the fisherman. I'm going to drop down 1 builder too. And actually add in, I guess, the 3rd fisherman. Okay, so we got only 1 more house left. It's got all the supplies, just needs to be built. Yeah. See, now they're cold because we didn't have enough firewood. So I should have queued up this woodcutter sooner. I think it'll be fine though. How much food are you producing? For some reason, you're also producing iron, which is interesting. Okay, we have our woodcutter. I'm gonna drop down one fisherman, and we just gotta have that woodcutter. That is non-optional. Now let's please get this last house finished. It's at 70%, boys. Let's come over hammer a couple times and it'll be done, and then our last 2 citizens will stop freezing to death. Here we go. So I'm gonna want to get a hunting lodge. Is that what it is? Hunting cabin, excuse me. I am going to want to get a hunting cabin up to... We'll put it over here in this little cluster. Forest, are they producing any wood? Or are they supposed to produce 6 logs? That's pretty pathetic. Alright. Good, so they are good. Good. Don't think we quite... 11-year-old... So 10 is like the official point where they become adults in this game. So we actually do have one pair that could move into a house and start reproducing. I don't know, we're going to want to do that eventually, but we got to get our food supplies up before we worry about that. Woodcutter, I want you to stick it at 100 for now. So you can set limits as to how much you'll produce of anything. Logs, there's really no reason to have a limit, so we'll bump that up. Same thing as food. 5,000 is good for now. Because eventually we'll hit a point where 5,000 food is really low, and you'll need more. You'll have way more production than that. But all right, so good deal. Next things for this year. Let's actually get that hunting cabin built. I don't know. Or at least I can get it queued up, I guess. That's really efficient right there, actually. I'm going to pause this, though. At least I want to get it placed, and then I can just unlock it when I'm ready to actually build it. I'm going to put a little bit of road there in front of it. We are going to start needing a blacksmith. Logs are low, huh? Alright, I'm going to queue up some logs to get cut down over here, because we just need more. And yeah, let's get a same thing here. I'm going to place a blacksmith. I don't know if I'm going to unlock him quite yet. Oh, actually, yeah, we're going to want to. Alright, I'm just going to unlock that. Okay, so tools are something that you can produce out of wood and iron, I believe. Later you can use steel. But your workers use tools for building, collecting resources. Basically anything that involves any sort of labor or whatever requires tools. If you run out of tools, the efficiency of your citizens drops substantially, and that is a bad thing. And it's a really bad thing when your actual blacksmith runs out of tools to use and making more tools, because you just end up in this endless spiral of doom where you are out of tools, and you can't produce more tools very fast, and it's just like an endless spiral. So tools are one thing you want to watch very carefully. You do not want to get too low on any of them, or too low on them, because it just ends up really bad. Okay, so we have a couple more became adults. So I'm going to add our food producers. I added 1 fisherman and 1 gatherer. Yeah, it's going to be a while before these are produced. Well, gatherer is doing pretty good. Forester, however, is looking pretty horrible. But as you can see, there's a bunch of these little smaller trees growing. These were planted by a forester, and he'll kind of slowly get all the stone and iron out of the way too. I can just go manually collect it, but there's really no need at this point to do that. So next thing is we gotta get this blacksmith going, because we're down to 5 tools. It's a little uncomfortable. Once this is built, then I'll unlock the hunting cabin, and we'll get that built. I don't know where we'll end up building. We may actually build an early bridge, and we can put stuff over here. I think that actually would be interesting, and it would still be close to the stockpile. Yeah, I think that actually would be quite interesting. We'll probably end up doing that. Alright. So we have had a child. We do have some people becoming of age too. So we can actually build another house and get them paired off. Our food stores are really low still, though. Let's keep adding food people. As long as I have extra. We had a bunch of people become adults, so that's why we have more. So our gatherer and fisherman huts are actually maxed out at the moment, which is actually fantastic, honestly. But once I get this blacksmith, one of them will have to go to that instead. In fact, why are we not building this? Hello. I placed this a while ago, and we are down to 2 tools. We're just going to cancel this removal up here. We've done that enough. Come build this now. There we go. Now builders, get your butts over here. There they go. I think they just got distracted by collecting all this wood that I had identified to be cut down. Man, we're down to slot 2 tools, man. I'll probably set it at 10 tools to start, and then I'll slowly increase that number as we can. Food is low. It's actually the highest it's been so far. I mean, low in the context of the game, but for this point we're doing fine. Okay. 94%. You can do it, boys. Drop 1 fisherman. And they stopped building at 97%. Come on. Finish it up. Come on. You my builder? Yes. We're out of tools. Fantastic. Blacksmith go. We're going to set the limit at 10. Oop. There we go. So I'm actually going to, I think, stop building until we get some tools in the store. I want to have minimal work for the time being. Next thing will be to get that hunting cabin built, and we're going to queue up another house. But I want to make sure we have tools in reserve before I order too much work. We don't want to be running out. Let's just get any tools done. Any tools whatsoever. There we go. 2 tools. Okay. Let's do it. Let's go. Unlock the hunting cabin and queue up another house. We'll put the house here, I think. That's what I want to do. We'll do this. Complete that road around. Can I do? Can't do that. That actually would be interesting. Okay. So I'm actually going to do a row of houses on this road, so I'll have one on each side. Food is low. Tools is low. Actually, we have 12 tools. What you talking about, Willis? I'm going to bump this up to 20 tools. I'm going to bump this up to 200 logs, or 200 firewood. Someone has fallen off a ladder and died. Okay, it is way too early in the ballgame to be losing people like that. What the hell? I always like to have a minimum of 2 laborers, because there's usually a lot of things you have to do around. Alright, let's get that house built. We need to start growing our population at this point. Alright, hunting cabin is done. I'm going to drop down 1 fisherman and add in a hunter if I can find... Hunter, there it is. There we go. So the reason you want to have a hunter is because they get more food, but they also will get leather from the animals they hunt, and then you can use leather to make coats, which we are low on coats, but coats are not quite as key of a resource as some of the other things. So it's actually okay that we are a little bit low, because yes, they'll get coal outside faster, but they can still go to their houses. Alright, so there we have a male and a female that are both 12 in game years, have moved out of their parents' house and into their own, and they will start reproducing. I'm actually going to be a little bit greedy and build another house right off the bat, because we do have more that can pair off and start reproducing. We just need to start growing our population, and obviously it takes time to grow children. Yes, I'm describing growing children like some sort of resource, like crops. Because why not? Sometimes you just gotta be a little bit heartless. Okay. So Hunter's not gotten food yet. Not yet, anyway. I'm sure he will soon. There we go. Alright, so now we have 2 young couples that have paired off in their own house. They can start giving us some babies. Now bring us on those babies. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to queue up a tailor, because we are going to need it eventually. And we're going to have a little bit of a lull here, because I definitely don't want to build another house quite yet. It would be too soon to do so. But we'll at least get this road built out a little bit, and we'll get the tailor up and running so we can start producing coats eventually. Fishing dock. Produced 1,000 food this year. Hell yeah. Hunting cabin has not produced anything yet. Gatherers are producing lots of food as well. Forester. Producing logs, but also producing a lot of stone and iron and stuff. Which for stone is actually getting a little bit low. We actually may have to get some of that going. I'm gonna go ahead and get some. Let's do a little bit of stone, because we're gonna need it eventually for building stuff. Oh, we're actually out of logs. Oh, hey. That's a problem. Go ahead and collect those logs for me. Actually, we'll cancel removal of the stone here for the time being. Well, actually, they're almost done anyway. It's fine. Just finished. Might as well. Alright, so we have had 2 children born. Excellent. It looks like I have a 17 or an 18-year-old female. That's it. Okay, so we do have an 18-year-old female here in this house, but there's no male 10 or above to pair them up with. So there's really no reason to build another house right now, because yeah, we'll on personal move, but it actually won't accomplish anything. Well, so one of these males, we did have a male. There's a male at 0. Male at 4. Once one of those males gets closer to maturity, then we'll build another house. Until then, there's no point. That's why it sucks when you have a bad start for a foresting lodge, because you're always low on lumber. Forester lodges are actually quite efficient, but not when you have this kind of start with them. Firewood is low. It is indeed low, but winter is ending, so that will be fine. Plus he's producing. He be producing. Comes our tailor. Don't think we're gonna man it. Well, I guess we could. I will, however, queue up more lumber to cut down, because we just really need more of it right now. And actually, let's get this stone cut up. We actually did have a good start in the sense that we have a lot of stone and iron, like literally right here. And once we get this bridge built over here, we'll have even more. Okay, I actually will man the tailor shop right now. It's gonna be below my 2 labor minimum that I prefer. However, we're not building anything. So when you're not building anything, these builders will act as laborers. Same thing as some of these other jobs. If like when my woodcutter hits his fuel limit of 200, he'll then become a normal laborer until he is needed to man this up again. So things are efficient in that regard. I don't need to have 50 closed though. Let's just do 20 for the time being. It's going to make sure really, really hard even to fill 20 because we will not be producing much leather. Alright, so we had a third child born. We were up to 19 people. We were at 13,014 before. Oh no, excuse me, 13,013. So yeah, we've had 3 children born since then. Five and 6 on those 2 males. Still got a ways. I feel that male is 19. I really wish we could have paired her up, but we just can't. But how am I doing my recording? Oh, hey, it's time for us to put a cut in here. So we had a pretty dang good start. Other than that one person falling off a ladder and dying, we actually are doing pretty well. All of our basic food production and lumber production are up and running. It's just a matter of increasing our population so we can man them a little bit more, because we're a little understaffed, especially on the forester. Not having enough foresters is a little bit of a detriment right now, but we also... Oh, actually we're doing really good on food. Alright, I actually may start the next episode. I may drop down a food producer and move them over to our forester so that we can get that going fast a little bit better, because that's our kind of our limiting factor right now is lumber. But I'm going to sit and think about that for a couple minutes. I think I might record one more episode. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed the start of our new Banished Let's Play. And if you haven't played this before and you have any questions, please drop them down below and I'll answer as best I can. And if you're new to my channel, obviously hit like and subscribe and all that usual stuff that I throw in at the end. Anyway, I thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.